found section 2 to really be inspiring, especially those last couple chapters towards the end. In section 2, we got to a lot of new terms that I thought sometimes were a little bit confusing, and how they talked about them and how similar they were, and sometimes even just how they wrote them. I got tired of seeing like the perception/action everywhere. I thought it was hard to read. So they did talk about 3 different terms with that same sort of style: the perception-action dynamic, which was kind of the process that happens when you make an automatic or reactive decision; the perception action cycle, which was kind of what they talked about as being a little bit further, like something that you actually are making some decisions about, you're actually thinking about, but it's still not too complicated. And then they talked about perception action learning, which was something that was far more goal oriented, where the learner was actually kind of taking a part in specifically developing a skill. I really continue to appreciate the Kane's views in this section. I thought that they really did a good job of playing fair. When they look at technology and games and the things that kids are into, they don't talk about them like they're perfect entities that we should just copy. They point out the problems with it as well as the positives. And same thing with education. Even as they're pointing to traditional education and saying this isn't the way to do it, they still are pretty gracious in acknowledging the things that make it seem like we're doing a good job, the fact that it's thoughtful or that it's logical. They just point out that we aren't really catering to how kids actually learn. I'd like to share some resources with you. Below this video on this page for section 2, there are a couple resources about challenge-based learning, which is a learning style that's mainly been shared by Apple the last couple years, which is why I'm familiar with it, and is a style I tried to incorporate a lot in the design of my music tech curriculum, and which I'm trying to incorporate in the design of the new 7th grade tech curriculum that I'm writing right now. So for me, all this is really ringing true and kind of coming full circle. I'm learning about CBL as much as I can, and then what the Kanes are talking about is natural learning, I think really is almost a perfect summary of what challenge-based learning is. So I'm going to share those resources with you below. You're welcome to look at them or not, and maybe consider them in your post this week, just what you think about challenge-based learning and that process. And then, again, you're always welcome to write about anything you want from this section. But if you aren't sure what to write about, I would challenge you to be a little bit visionary. Like, let's pretend that our entire school district or entire school is actually on board with restructuring everything based around the Kane's vision of natural learning and what it means for kids to learn in an authentic environment. And let's say that they've come to you and said, hey, you are the consultant for this, you tell us how to do it, how it's done. What are some of the changes you would need to see in the school structure or in the district structure or in the structure of a school day to make this really possible? So have fun, think of what you would do to make this vision come true, or talk about anything else you want from this section. I hope you are continuing to enjoy the book.